Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women who are aging beautifully come to be inspired. So my guest today is Suzi Grant. Suzi is a blogger, an author, and a broadcaster. She's the author of a fabulous new book that's just coming out, and she's writing about nutrition and fashion and style and all things of interest to women over 60. I'm so happy to have you here, Suzi. Welcome.
Thank you, Margaret. Lovely to see you.
Well, my community of women have been waiting for you because they know about you. I've spoken about you in different videos before. You have a fantastic style about you. You've got your unique values and way of looking at fashion as a means of self-expression. And I'd like you to talk to us about alternative shopping techniques that you use that kind of align you with your beliefs and your values.
Yes. And also aligns with my followers' beliefs on Instagram and my blog, Alternative Aging. That it's incredibly popular if I post something that I found in a vintage shop for $10 or found upcycled at friends' shoes. So I've got lots of quick examples to show you. It's really important, I think, because fast fashion is the second biggest polluter of our planet, and B, we don't need all this stuff. Let's spend our money on experiences. I'm sure you agree.
I agree.
I don't spend much on fashion at all. I spend it on travel and accessories, and I love trawling through a vintage market or a charity shop. I just love it.
Yes. Well, in the States, a lot of our followers are from the States and 60 and Me, and they do have thrift stores and consignment. They call them consignment stores. But, you don't even have to look very far. Sometimes only in your own cupboard, things that that you haven't thought to wear, or you could wear in a different way. So
perfect. This is perfect. And we didn't rehearse this, folks.
No.
We just brought in the perfect link to my first example.
Okay, let's do it.
This is what I call good upcycling. This is I'm going to go back. There you go.
Nice colour. Very pretty.
A little cardigan, cashmere cardi. I love cashmere cardis, and you can get them cheaply online.
Yes, you can.
But to give it a different look and to be able to wear lots of beautiful jewellery. We love our jewellery. We've got another video all about accessories. Oh, doesn't that look
sweet? That's nice.
I turn it back to front, and suddenly you get a whole different look. It looks really retro.
I never thought of that. That's great.
Clothes back to front, inside out, and then you can add without worrying about the buttons, and that's all people see from the back, which is so retro and 40s. I'm really into vintage.
I love that idea.
Styles. So this is why I do all this. And the other thing is, especially if you go to vintage markets or thrift stores with a bit of luck, if you find something vintage, no one else is going to be wearing the same outfits.
That's so true. And, if you put up different buttons on that sweater too and have, because it's a surprise element, isn't it? That you're doing something that's unique.
What a good idea. Yes, because there's some amazing button stores.
Yes. Anyway, what else have you got there? That looks really pretty colors.
This is so colourful.
Woo.
I found this you can see that it's vintage by the old label. Look at that lovely old label.
I think
that. It might even have come from America. And I bought this as a vintage market in my hometown in Brighton. And it was about $20. Yeah. 15, 14 quid.
Yeah,
and
it's lovely.
I had so many lovely comments when I wear that. And I've never seen anyone else wearing the same thing.
You could go to the high street and try to buy that thing, and you'd be walking for years. You'd never find it, right?
You'd never get it for $20. That's for sure.
I actually had I used to live in London, too, Suzi, and I used to live near Portobello Market in Notting Hill. And every Saturday I would go to Portobello Market, just like you've described, and they would have these carts that would be loaded up with scarves and tops, and everybody would be pulling at them. And I found treasures there that 5 years later, I still would never give them up for the world. I love them.
I've got
50 pence.
Yeah, I do declutter like mad because I haven't got enough room, but I do have stuff in my wardrobe that's 15, 20 years old.
This is cute.
This I have to share. Now this was from Portland. Hello, Portland.
Love it. Oh my goodness.
And it was again about $20 in, gosh, I wish I could remember, Buffalo Exchange.
Yes.
Which is all over the States.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's another piece coming there. And
it's lovely.
From a pre-loved upcycling shop. So this is new. Can you see?
Is it netting?
Yes. It's just, I think it's only a high street one, but again, I haven't, given the big store the money. Somebody else bought it before me. But that, with this jacket and with these biker boots, can you see?
Yes, I can see them.
Got me the biggest likes on Instagram that I've ever had.
That's amazing.
I thought it was because my little dog was in the shop, but I put on a black mini skirt and a black polo neck, the one I'm wearing now, for yesterday's post. Well, just look back, you'll see a black mini skirt, woman my age, and a black polo neck, and that got as many likes. So people are obsessed with black. But I love this jacket.
It looks so silky and comfortable too.
$50. I lived in it if it was cool. And my last one is back to the same place, Buffalo Exchange. Again, it's not vintage, it's modern, but it's pre-loved, so I'm upcycling like mad. And that goes, again, you can see it on my Instagram account, that actually goes because of the beautiful green in it. With my one extravagant buy, which is about 7 years ago, I bought a Vivienne Westwood skirt, which is dark green tartan. And this, with the Vivienne Westwood skirt, is to die for. And of course, it goes with the green cardi. So, and the final thing.
I love how you get so excited about it. It's wonderful.
I'm so excited. It's my passion. I don't get as excited over health, do I? Bad nutritionist.
Well, that's the basis. You start with good health. You can't look good if you don't feel good.
I only do it because I have to. I want to live long. Okay. But yes, ask your friends. Have little swapsies around your houses.
That's a great idea.
My friend gave me these Armani, and I would call them vintage because they're so old, but they look amazing on with little black and white check trousers, totally free because she bought the wrong size and kept wearing them, so she couldn't sell them. And you know how little things go for on eBay anyway. It's not worth selling. Do swapsies with your friends, or find a store that will sell them for you for some commission. There's so many pre-loved stores around, and if it's in bad nick, as we say in the UK, then give it to a charity shop. But there's no need to hang on to stuff you will never wear again. My rule is, if I haven't worn it for 2 years, I'm never going to wear it. Yeah. And at no point, I actually got rid of some stuff. I might get into this one day. You won't.
Open a shop one day, you probably could.
I mean, I'm the slimmest I've been since my 20s. I ain't going to get any slimmer without looking awful. And it all goes round the middle at our age. And I've got the most beautiful, what did I have to get rid of? Anyway, I've put them in the recycling pile because as lovely as, I think their trousers, as lovely as they are, they're just a tad too tight. And let's face it, ladies, at our age, comfort above all. Comfort.
Yeah. No, what I love about your attitude to fashion is you, first of all, your passion for fashion. You've got an amazing energy around it, but also you're very social about it. And I love the idea of getting things that other people might like. I was at a similar, in Switzerland, we don't have charity shops, but we have these fairs where people can rent a little booth or table and then bring their stuff. And it's just a throw it on the table and people find it. And
that's a good idea.
It's really cool. But the thing that was really nice is I saw some T-shirts there that were way too small for me, but they were like Ed Hardy, and they were beautiful rhinestone and just sweet. And this woman had a big basket for everything was £1, which is
my goodness, nothing.
And I grabbed them and I bought them and took them to a thrift store because it was I couldn't wear them, but you can't miss something that's really beautiful to you, sharing it, and I love that attitude with you too.
Good girl. Yes, that's what I do. If I don't, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on.
I love it.
Yeah, and somebody will love what you no longer like. That's why I don't like spending money on designer outfits, because you get just as sick of a designer dress as you do from a cheap dress that you got in a vintage store or a thrift store. So why spend it? Yeah, I'm sure you agree with me anyway.
No, I totally do. And I know that other people do, but you touched on all the important things. I mean, a lot of women in our community like comfort. Well, everything you've showed us today, you would just slink into those things. I mean, they're not uncomfortable. They're beautiful colors. They're flattering to you personally, because you love them and bought them. But I think it's a combination of, like you said, upcycling what you've already got, changing it around, like this sweater, turning it to the back, vintage clothes from shops like the charity shops in the UK and thrift stores in the States, and just having a love of the whole process, just enjoying it.
It's just such fun to have the time. That's why I love traveling and do more shopping when I'm traveling, because I've got more time. But it's just such fun to go into a store like the Buffalo Exchange in the US and just rifle through everything. And everyone's so friendly there. You don't get that in a department store. You get so much choice, and lovely people are there to save their money as well and upcycle, because they care passionately about the planet. And when I was in there in Portland, people would go, "Oh, you must buy that really suits you, the Adidas jacket." Everyone was like, "Oh, it looks wonderful." And that's what I love about it. It's a hobby now. It is a hobby. I just have to make room for it.
Well, I've got a picture of your wardrobe that we're going to include, I think, with this article, because you've got some amazing vintage clothing, and you can tell that you've got a love for it. So people check out Suzi's website. It's alternativeaging.net. That's with an E in the aging, alternative aging. We'll put it up on the screen. And also your Instagram and Twitter account. Just check her out. She's just an inspiration. And it's been great to have you here, Suzi.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, and by the way, wait a minute, don't go yet, because I forgot to mention what is really important is that you've got a book coming out. And in fact, it's already out we are watching this now. Here it is.
Sadly, it's out now in paperback in the UK and as an ebook, so you can Kindle it. Sadly, in the US, it's available on Kindle as an ebook now. But if you want the pretty handbag-sized paperback, I'm afraid you'll have to wait till spring, but that's not long.
No, it'll be there before you know it. But it is a pretty-looking book, and I know that inside you've got to focus. I mentioned earlier on nutrition as well as fashion, so it's going to be a whole lifestyle experience. So I'm glad you had a chance to show that. That's really cool. Wish you all the best with it. Thank you, Suzi. Take very good care. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60andMe YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.